Good morning, all participants, the jury. I'm in the space of 3 minutes, I'm going to get from the bullet on the left to Kilimanjaro Development Center. My name is Tim Challen, born and raised in Geneva. In 2003, my employees sent me to Nairobi to open an office. And while I was there, I was shot and injured during an armed robbery. After a long period of rehab, I went back to Nairobi to testify. And to my surprise, the court was in Kibera slum, one of the largest in Africa. And as I looked out through the window, I realized that lack of opportunities create greater insecurity. So within 2 years, I set up a climb up to the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro in partnership with UN Habitat to raise awareness on their Safer Cities program. Since then, we've led more than 700 people to the summit of Africa from a number of countries, mainly youth, from various social and economic backgrounds. Together, we've raised funds for community-based projects. Here you can see on the left, we upgraded the sports field in Kibera slum. We set up a boxing club, and we also created the golf programs for the girls in Kibera. We have participants from all walks of life. Here you may recognize one of the best athletes in this region, Maud Mattis. The mountain is a great way to break down social barriers. Also on one of our climbs, we've had Mira Rai, a sky running champion from Nepal. We decided to replicate our program in the Himalaya region. And so last November, in partnership with UNESCO, we did a trek to Everest Base Camp to raise awareness on sustainable mountain development. Along the way, we met with community groups all the way from Namche Bazaar up to Everest Base Camp. And UNESCO told us that our initiative helped amplify the voice of Sherpa communities along the way at a national and international level. Partnerships are very important to us. In July, we're climbing with the Explorers Club to raise awareness on equality, diversity and inclusion. The reason I'm here is because we want to set up a development center in the Masai Plains at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro. We already organize a number of activities there. At the development center, they'll be able to learn best practices with national and international experts. And the idea is that with outdoor activities and being inspired, they'll bring back their knowledge to their communities and become agents of change. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tim. You can go into the middle, and now it's time for the jury. You can go to the middle. It's time for the jury to ask questions. Jury member, any questions for Tim from the Kilimanjaro initiative? Whoever wants to start can start.
Sure, Tim. Thank you very much. Very interesting. I'm just wondering, when you've got the tourists, the trackers coming in, and you've got the local community accompanying them, what are the spaces for cultural sensitization? Like, what does that interaction look like where they get to actually know rather than just have company on their trip?
So we're very close to our guides and porters. We support them in many ways, even offer scholarships to their children. We visit, we also support the Marangu Hospital. We've provided solar power energy for their operating block. So all our activities, whether they be on Mount Kilimanjaro in Kibera or in the Himalayas, are very much inclusive with the community, hand in hand. Because I would say the important thing is to make sure that they have a sense of ownership in the whole process.
And maybe another question, to what extent your development center is built with sustainability in mind and biodiversity in mind?
Absolutely. So we're working with some of our, we have an advisory board, and we have water specialists, climate specialists. And so we're also going to work with the local community to make sure that we get indigenous knowledge, see what can be planted, what is durable. Because a lot of the time what you find in the Masai Plains, especially now as it's drying up, is unsustainable practices in terms of agriculture and others.
Any other questions? You're not forced to ask questions. It's just if you need more information.
More a point of clarification, perhaps it wasn't clear. When I was talking about the human interaction between your visitors and your local communities when you take people on trekking? Is there an opportunity where you create spaces so that they know a bit more than you would in your typical tourist trip?
Absolutely. There's a whole mentorship program that goes with it, and the trekkers will support the youth after the climb.